Good evening again. Representatives from the Ministry of Education, Technological and Vocational Training, our winners, guests of honor, principals, sponsors, value partners, and guests. On behalf of RF Merchant Bank and Trust Barbados Limited, welcome to RF National Distinguished Teachers Awards Ceremony. I'm your host, Tia Marville. The RF National Distinguished Teachers Awards, or RFNDTA, was created to honor outstanding educators in the Barbados community who positively contribute to academic development of our nation's youth. Nearly 100 teachers have been inducted into the NDTA Hall of Fame to date, representing all academic levels, from nursery school to tertiary institutions. We are ecstatic to have once again host the awards ceremony in person, and we thank you all for joining us as we celebrate 10 phenomenal teachers. Without further ado, please help me to welcome Chief Education Officer Dr. Ramona Archer Bradshaw from the Ministry of Education, Technological and Vocational Training to the stage to bring opening remarks.
Good evening, everyone. It gives me great pleasure to acknowledge the contribution of our teachers at the RF National Distinguished Teachers Award 2023. I use the opportunity to say thank you to RF Merchant Bank for the interest that they have shown in our teachers and for the continued partnership with the Ministry of Education, Technological and Vocational Training in recognizing their valuable work. Education is the foundation of every society, and our teachers are the cornerstones. Teachers inspire, guide, and shape our children's minds, thereby preparing them for future challenges. They are the mentors. They are the role models who influence the lives of our children in profound ways. So what does it really mean to teach? According to Crystal McLeod, to teach is to touch a life forever. Teachers, therefore, have the power to affect knowledge, attitudes, values, and skills, and in so doing, transform the lives of learners. In recent times, the focus of teaching has been on skills and how to learn more so than on content. We're not saying that content isn't important, but we recognize that there is a lot of value in learning how to learn and in learning skills. Today's teachers are therefore now expected to, in addition to teaching the subject, place greater emphasis on the 5 C's: critical thinking skills, collaboration, creativity, communication, and confidence to equip learners for their role in Barbadian society and for the international stage. And Siri is saying that she didn't understand what I was saying. But I was talking about the 5 C's and the importance of teaching those 5 C's. We are also very aware of the negative impact of the COVID-19 pandemic and how that has affected not only our children, but our teachers. They're human beings too. And we at the Ministry of Education use this opportunity to reiterate our gratitude to our teachers who have persevered and who have excelled during these challenging times. Teaching today is much different from teaching 5 years ago, because this pandemic has taught us that reliance on one mode of teaching can no longer suffice in the classroom. Our teachers have had to transition from face-to-face instruction to emergency remote teaching to blended teaching, all in the span of 3 years. And all of this while teaching attitudes and values. We must give them a round of applause for that. Considering the role of teachers in nurturing the various talents of learners, the Ministry of Education is redoubling its efforts to provide inclusive learning environments for children with various backgrounds, interests, and abilities. Parents of children with a range of special educational needs can therefore look forward to expanded access to educational facilities. And with access to these expanded facilities comes a need to ensure that the quality of instruction is not compromised. It is against this backdrop that the Ministry of Education is working with the Urdiston Teachers Training College to provide more meaningful and relevant professional development opportunities for teachers through its collaboration with the National Transformation Initiative and Coursera. Recognizing that professional development must be coupled with the provision of resources for teachers if output is to be at its maximum level of efficiency, the Ministry of Education pledges its commitment to providing teachers with necessary tools. The calls for the ministry to provide greater access for teachers to online resources have been heard. The calls for students to have greater access to textbooks online have also been heard. Consequently, the plans for the introduction and expansion of online educational resources are at an advanced stage. And I don't want to talk all night about what the ministry plans to do to help teachers, so let me conclude. As I conclude, I wish to congratulate every hardworking teacher who is being recognized tonight. As I congratulate you, I ask you to continue to input into our students. Help them to become responsible, productive citizens. I implore you and your colleagues across the teaching profession to give your best efforts at all times to ensure that our children develop the knowledge, the attitudes, the skills, and the values that are necessary for improving their lives and our lives and contributing to rewarding livelihoods. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you for that warm welcome. Next on stage, please welcome Gillian Nunes, President and CEO of RF Merchant Bank and Trust, Barbados.
Thank you and good evening, everyone. As our other speaker said, it is a pleasure to welcome you this evening to the celebrations where we recognize and honor the tremendous contributions of just some of Barbados's unsung heroes. And as Tia said as well, it feels great to be able to commemorate this momentous occasion together in person once again. This evening is truly a testament of the resilience, perseverance, and unyielding strength of the Barbadian community who will rise to the occasion to overcome the challenges of the day. This is exemplified in tonight's honorees, who, despite incredible obstacles, remain committed to providing every opportunity for their students to not only learn, but to thrive. While those of us outside of the profession may not be able to fully conceptualize the sacrifice made by tonight's winners and all the other extraordinary teachers in Barbados, we can all appreciate how valuable their contributions are to the growth and development of our nation. Great teachers are made of a special cloth, one that allows them to have exceptional patience and empathy, a cloth that yields determination and what seems like endless creativity. Tonight, we are joined by teachers who see their job as more than a paycheck. Instead, it's a life's mission, passion, and purpose. So this evening, it is my honor, on behalf of RF Merchant Bank and Trust and our RF NDTA sponsors, to congratulate the 2022 RF National Distinguished Teachers Awardees and to officially induct you into the RF NDTA Hall of Fame. We applaud you for going above and beyond the call of duty, for stepping outside of your comfort zones, for facing unprecedented challenges head-on and doing whatever it takes to ensure positive outcomes for Barbados' youth. Know that you are all heroes in your own right. And as heroes, I encourage you to wear your capes proudly so that you inspire future generations of exceptional teachers like yourselves, ones that love children like you do and are driven by their success. As I take my seat, I would like to leave you with the words of William Yeats, who says, "Teaching is not the filling of a pot, but the lighting of a fire." So I encourage you to continue to ignite fires in your classrooms, fires that inspire curiosity, that drives innovation, and encourages out-of-the-box thinking to ensure Barbados' perpetual advancement. Once again, I'd like to congratulate all of you on a job well done.
Thank you, Jillian. So before we announce the 2022 winners, we must acknowledge our friends and partners whose support made RF NDTA a success. We must thank the entire team at the Ministry of Education, Technological and Vocational Training for their continued support. Special thanks to our judging panel, comprised of Dr. Yvette Mears, Samantha Suttle, and Diane Fort. We appreciate the time and effort you invested throughout the virtual, judging, and interview process. Finally, a special thanks to our partners, CBC Radio and Morning Barbados, and to our sponsors, CIBC First Caribbean International Bank, Hilton Resort, Housing Concepts, Barbados Today, Cooperators General Insurance, Consumers Guarantee Insurance, Koiman, BICO, and Pan American Insurance. I would also like to make special mention of A. Rich Media Productions, Premier Events, Blades Trophies, and Intelligent Lighting for continuing to support the program. Please join me in a round of applause for all the persons who made this possible. And now, for the moment you've all been waiting for, we shall begin the presentations with the first award category. Trophies will be presented by CIBC First Caribbean. Please put your hands together for our first winner in the nursery category. Ms. Keisha Graves of Maria Holder Nursery.
My name is Keisha Graves. I am the Early Childhood Coordinator at the Maria Holder Nursery School, Oldbury. I have been teaching for more than 10 years now. My role is to plan the curriculum and also to guide and mentor teachers. I have always found myself surrounded by children. From an early age, I would babysit for families. I would also tutor 11 plus mathematics as well as CXC mathematics. And I realized that I really did have a love for it. And my mother encouraged me to apply. And I did. I was actually working at a bank at the time. And the same day that I got the call from the ministry, I handed in my resignation. And I started teaching, I believe, in 2 weeks' time. And it was the best decision that I could have ever made. My teaching style would be the use of play-based learning in the classroom. Play is an integral part of early childhood development. Children learn best when they are at play. So I try to plan activities which would encourage them to really get involved in their own learning, to be able to manipulate the materials that are provided, to be able to have discussions, to move around, to enjoy what they are doing while they are learning. I am most passionate about play-based learning and STREAM. in early childhood education. And it is a way to provoke learning at all levels within a child. Children are able to engage their senses, they're able to explore concepts in ways that we can only imagine, and they do it while playing, while having fun. When I got the call that I had won the award, I would say I was shocked, and it quickly turned into excitement. And I was pleased to know that my hard work was recognized and it was being honored in some way.
I was so ecstatic when I found out that you won.
Thank you. Thanks. So was I. And now to know that you were behind this, I really do appreciate this opportunity. You have no idea. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
Please join me on stage. So next, we congratulate and welcome to the stage Rhonda Robinson Archer of Debbie's Little Angels.
I am Rhonda Robinson Archer of Debbie's Little Angels Day Boarding for Kids, and I am the preschool teacher here. I believe teaching begins at home, and my job is to incorporate what they've learned at home and teach them as well the core values they would have already known and what they will be learning. I want them to be able to leave here with all that they've been taught and be able to share something else with someone. Upon leaving my job as an agent, I decided first to take a handle on my health. Shortly after that, I spoke to Miss Deborah Jordan, who is the principal of this school, and the conversation ended with me becoming a volunteer. So I assisted in the nursery, I assisted during camp time. My creativity grew, and it continued to blossom so much that this became a passion, working with children. I was like, yes, I found my niche. The creative ways I engage with my students. We recently concluded independence events. I took them outdoors and we had the balls lined up. A question would be asked regarding the flag. As soon as we have an answer, they take off running, put their balls in every obstacle, and as I said, I tie in colors. I have also written a book which is called Learning the ABC Way, Let's Go A to Z, to help them read with their children, and it's filled with activities as well, because that's how my mind works. I think you need to become a child. Sometimes be silly, be happy. I love comforting new parents because I want them to know you have nothing to worry about. I'm also a mom, and these children become mine when they drop them off. They're no longer theirs, they will be yours when you pick them back up. But while they're here, they're mine. And I find that that puts them at ease a whole lot. I have prayed for patience for a long time, and it's coming into play. So being patient in the classroom is not very hard. Addressing tantrums, I usually go to the child's level and I speak to them. You ask them a question, what is wrong? They're going to be able to tell you something. You may not understand all of it, but they're going to tell you what's wrong. You address it, and they're normally behaving better at the end of the day. Children are our gifts. We need to take care of them. Children are unique, and they work at their own pace. We must not compare them, nor humiliate them. Our job is to encourage them through their growth, because as mentioned before, they are the type who will lead this country one day.
Congratulations again to our new RF and DTA nursery winners. Our next category would ask the rep for Caribbean Broadcasting Corporation to join us on stage. So next, we celebrate the winner of the special needs category. Please put your hands together for Joanne Davis Walker of Eagle Hall Primary.
Hi, my name is Joanne Davis Watkins. I teach at Eagle Hall Primary School within the special unit, and I teach the age group 7 to 11 years old. Coming into work every day knowing that I have my students who their personalities are so varied. Morning, guys. Morning. My class consists of 11 students. Their learning difficulties range from autism to just developmental learning delays. We have some who are high functioning, and we have some who are nonverbal. But in our potpourri in the classroom, we all function and we gel together as one big family.
I always wanted to be a teacher. My parents are teachers, and I grew up with them in that field, and it just happened to fall in my lap when I graduated from secondary school. I would have started teaching in 2003. After a while, I switched professions and I became a registered nurse. And on getting the opportunity to complete my diploma in education, I was allocated back into the profession I love of teaching. So here I am, 4 years, working at Eagle Hall Primary School within the special unit, and I love every day of it.
With some of the students in my class, I have such good relationships with the parents that I can even help beyond just the school. For example, when there was COVID, I noticed that I had some students who were in need of food stuff, and I would have made face masks, and I sold the face masks and used the funds from that to buy food, and I presented hampers to the students in my class in need. Open your mind, come with a nice open way of thinking, don't be afraid, and open your heart. You're going to find that it's a lot of love working in a special unit.
Ms. Elaine White will be accepting the reward on behalf of Joanne Davis Walker this evening. Congratulations again to Joanne. Now we recognize the winners of the 2022 RF National Distinguished Teachers Awards primary category. Please join me on stage, Ms. Marcia Burke of St. George Primary School.
My name is Marcia Burke. I teach at the St. George Primary School, and I teach ages 3 to 11, which is nursery to class 4. I believe my primary role as a teacher is to inspire my children, to motivate them. Yes, I know that my job is to teach them, but I want to make learning fun. I want to make it exciting. 4-H is an agricultural club. It started out as an agricultural club in the US. It is here in Barbados and the Caribbean. And I am a 4-H leader, and ironically enough, I ended up teaching agricultural science because of 4-H. And it's just really a really fun club to do. The children are exposed to being able to do rearing of animals, being able to learn how to cook, and then we branch off into doing different things such as craft, being able to speak well, drama, and expressing themselves. And it's based on the concept of learn by doing, which filters into my agricultural science program as well here at St. George Primary.
She teaches us a lot of educational and fun stuff.
I learn a lot of things. I see new stuff around everywhere. She takes us outside and lets us pet the rabbits and let us take care of them, showing that we know a lot about agriculture.
Some of the creative ways that I engage with my students is that I do my learning outside of the box. I don't want to stick to just the traditional way that we do things. So for example, here with my agricultural science program, I actually turn my children into kid entrepreneurs. And by doing that, I teach them all about entrepreneurship and allow them to start their own business, because I believe that nothing is too much for children to do. It's like limitless. Being an active member of the Barbados Union of Teachers, I would advise new members, the first thing you must do is that you must love your job. You have to love your job and you have to love children. That's my mantra. And remember, years to come, there will be a child that will meet you on the street and say to you, "Hi, Miss," or "Hi, Mr. So-and-so," and they will remember that little thing that you did for them while they were at school.
I would like Jillian News to join us on stage to to present our primary category. So next, we congratulate Renette Briggs of Blackman Gollop Primary School.
My name is Renette Briggs. I'm a teacher at the Blackman and Gollop Primary School, and I'm currently a reception teacher. To be a teacher, you have to feel it in here, and you have to want to be here every day with these children because they need you. I've always had a passion for children's development. Even as a young lady, I would have been a youth leader at church, and I would always be very excited when I get to conduct Sabbath school. For a number of years, I offered homework help to children in less fortunate homes, and I found that that was fulfilling, and I found that was a way that I could contribute to my community. My teaching style is quite varied. It's based on flexibility. So, for example, I could have a science lesson outdoors, and we can have our discussion outside. Let's say the topic was weather patterns. We would have our discussion, we can perhaps play I Spy, and then we bring the lesson back into the classroom, perhaps watch a video, an interactive one at that for those who are visual learners. One of my most memorable moments actually occurred during my first few weeks of teaching. And one day I had a student by my desk. I was giving him some extra attention because he was not understanding the concept. And as we were working together, he suddenly just mentioned to me, while he was writing, that he was having an issue at home. There was a family problem going on at home. That's when it dawned on me that I need to find out who these children are, what backgrounds are they coming from, you know, what makes them tick, what makes them smile, what makes them respond to the concept better.
Hi, how are you? Hello. You're in here for me? I'm in here for you, yes. Thank you.
It's an honor to be here to share in this special moment. Myself, along with many other parents, nominated you for this award. And there was no doubt in our minds that you deserve to be a winner. You are so welcome.
Thank you.
And last but not least, in the primary category, please welcome Tamika Newton of St. Paul Primary School.
My name is Tamika Newton. I am a primary school teacher at St. Paul's, and I teach the reception class. My journey to becoming a teacher is a very inspiring one. I attended the Florence Spring Memorial School, and on graduation I left there with no CXCs. Through my journey, I wanted to do better in my life, and I managed to do some CXCs, which would have led me years after to complete my bachelor's degree in education at UE. And then I would have moved on to become a teacher in 2019. So it's basically 3 years that I have been teaching. It was the most enjoyable time of my life. Becoming a teacher, it was like I achieving the greatest goal that I ever had. And I wanted to help other people to make it against the odds. And that's the name of my first charity, the Made It Against the Odds Foundation. So we focus on helping other people to make it against the odds. No matter race, class, creed, whatever. We just help. In terms of the second charity, which is Untitled Chapter, which is the youngest of the two, really started for me becoming a survivor of domestic violence. I am a champion for building the students' confidence. I like to encourage them, and when a child feels good, you can get the best out of them. I had a lot of memorable moments with a child. He was trying to write some letters or his name, and I remember when he brought the paper to me, he just had a lot of little dibbles and dabbles all over the place. And I said, good job, but we can try to get the letters. And I remember when he brought back the paper and I saw his name on the paper, I just jumped up and screamed, and I went straight to my mentor, Miss Barker. I said, Miss Barker, look, Miss Barker, look. She said, what happened? I said, look, he actually started to write. I was so excited. Rico,
I just want to take this opportunity to really congratulate you for all the work that you've been doing.
Oh, you want me to cry?
With all the initiatives that you will have to give back to communities and also to help children as well within primary, secondary school, within the communities and all, and as well to indeed be successful in the future. Congratulations.
Thank you very, very much. My advice to other educators would be to think outside the syllabus. Don't see it as a job, but more see it as a passion, and talk to the other teachers at school. You know, agree to disagree, ask for questions. Don't think that you know everything. Just ask, research, and just do your best.
Congratulations again to the winners of the RF NDTA primary category. So next, we will announce our secondary category winners. I ask that the representative for Hilton Barbados join us on stage. For our secondary category winners, please give a warm welcome to Patrice Marshall of Parkinson School.
I am Miss Patrice Marshall. I teach social studies from 1st to 5th form at the Parkinson Memorial School. I have been first at the Parkinson School for 9 years, but September this year was actually 10 years that I've been in the teaching profession. So there was not a better way to celebrate my 10-year milestone other than receiving an award such as this.
What I like most about Miss Marshall is that she is ambitious.
A very approachable person. And she always has a smile on her face.
She's one of my main supporters when it comes to be football.
You know, I can hear Miss Marshall in the background, go Jerry, go Parkinson. When they go fight, when they go this, when they go that. When we score, it's all noise all the time.
Parkinson is special to me because as a teacher, it is easy to have students who get it right away. To see in 5 years a student achieve the same goals, receiving a CXC or several CXCs, as students who would have entered a secondary school with higher grades, it is more fulfilling as a teacher when you watch that child who did not think that they were capable of receiving such, get it.
I would just like to congratulate her on such a prestigious award. The amount of work that my sister has put into being a teacher, she brings home all of the energy that she gets from school. She brings home the issues that her students go through. She really feels these students. She loves these students.
There are many moments that has made me proud as a teacher. It was 2018, we had a pageant, and when she was announced winner, the first thing she did was she looked around, she scanned, and when she saw me, our eyes met 4. And even though it has gone a while, I can still feel that. I can still feel the intense feeling of her eyes piercing mine. And it's like she was so happy, she was joyful, she was appreciative, and it was because we did the work together, and she was happy that she came out the winner.
Miss Marshall is an excellent teacher. As a form teacher, she performs all of her duties exceptionally well. She caters to the emotional, social, even in some instances, their financial needs. I remember there was one instance where one of her students, a female student, felt uncomfortable about her hair. And Miss Marshall took it upon herself weekly to go to that child's house and braid her hair. And those are the qualities of a dedicated teacher, somebody who goes above and beyond for their students. So I congratulate Miss Marshall. She is an exceptional teacher, and I wish her all the best.
She exemplifies what it is that the teachers here at Parkinson School do, and she is a shining example of that.
Congratulations, Miss Marshall. We wish you all the best.
Presenting this and the next award is RF Bank and Trust. Julian, if you could join me again on stage. So up next, we congratulate Shannon Haynes of Harrison College.
Hi, my name is Shannon Haynes and I'm a teacher at Harrison College. I teach from first form to sixth form. I also teach a variety of subjects from social studies to sociology. I love children and I love playing a positive role in their lives.
Miss Haynes is my favorite teacher because she really makes classes interactive.
She always makes sure that we have a great learning experience.
Recently, we literally did criminal profiling and we got to do a murder mystery in class. I think that way of teaching and that way of learning is very impactful. I think it really helps us to perform well in our exams.
We feel as though we can relate to her on a personal level. Class discussions are always interactive.
And I really love her and appreciate her so much.
I love hearing my students tell me that they enjoy my classes. Right now we are teaching crime and deviance, and that is a very important social issue in the Caribbean. It's not just teaching, I'm teaching them real life experiences and it helps them to shape them to become good citizens in society. I have a lot of teachers in my family, and not only that, a lot of teachers in my childhood played a role in shaping me into the person I am today, and I want to become a teacher like that for my students. My teaching style is based on classroom engagement. Usually I let my students lead the discussion, and I find that it creates a better overall learning experience because they're not only learning from me, they're learning from themselves and their peers. For my lower school, if I'm teaching the history of Harrison College, I usually create a scavenger hunt, and then they will usually have to write a piece on it, so it shows that their understanding of the school and its history. I will tell them to research all they need to know about teaching and speak to teachers also in the profession to get an idea of what you'll be getting into. Teaching is not just about the vacations, and it's not a 9-to-3 job. You have to love children and you have to be very patient with them. It's really a rewarding feeling to know that I'm actually making a difference in my students' lives.
Congratulations, Miss Haynes! Woo!
And our final winner in the secondary superstars is Marco Scanterbury of St. George Secondary.
My name is Marco Scanterbury. I am an educator at the St. George Secondary School. I teach second form, third form, and fourth form. I currently hold a bachelor's in linguistics and literatures in English, a postgrad diploma in teachers training. My teaching style is based on influence. I do not force my students to learn. I create a safe space where they feel comfortable and they're eager to learn.
Mrs. Canterbury is my favorite teacher because he is calm in many ways, and in class he lets things interesting.
Mr. Canterbury is my favorite teacher because he has fun and still do learning at the same time.
He's kind, helpful, and caring.
I am passionate about literacy and integrating technology within my lessons. Literacy challenges have always existed in Barbados. However, after COVID, it has been brought to the light. And if interventions are not put into place, then we are failing them as a society. I find that when students want to learn on their free will, that it becomes easier for the teacher and themselves. And they also enjoy what they're learning. I saw opportunity there with Edison to become a literacy diagnostic specialist. I saw an advertisement at 2 o'clock. I applied at 2 or 3 with my CV, my qualifications, everything. So then I went on, and that was one of the best decisions I made up to this day. We always talk about service and good service in Barbados. You know, service industries like hotels and what's not. But the best service industry is teaching. You are here to be of service.
Congratulations, Mr. Canterbury!
So we have 2 winners left. So the final individual category winner is up next. First, I would invite Chief Education Officer Dr. Archer Bradshaw to present the award. So we are pleased to announce our very first principal category winner. Please join me on stage, Julia Beckles of the Combermere School.
I am Julia Beckles, principal of Combermere School. I've been the principal of Combermere School from September 1st, 2022. So that is a long 12 weeks. But prior to that, I was the principal of Allen School for 8 years. I believe that my primary role here is to provide the enabling environment so that my colleagues can do their job, and in so doing, assist my students in being the best that they can be. The road to principalship started with my being a teacher of English language, literature, and French. Planning to be a principal, I knew that there were other steps I had to take. There was, in 2013, an opening for deputy principal at a number of schools. I applied and was promoted to the position of deputy principal at the Darrell Jordan Secondary School. I would have to say that my leadership style is adaptive, but if you ask me to use one of the traditional labels, I would have to say I'm transformational.
I do think she deserves the Principal of the Year award because she is a woman who, first of all, I believe is an example to other women. She's an example to other leaders in the making. And I do believe that there is none more deserving. She loves children, she loves her work, she loves being a leader, and she loves to motivate. Who better to win this award?
My door is open. It's an open door policy and an actual open door. And any student can see me as well. No appointment necessary. I am available and accessible to all.
What I like most about my principal is that she's very active. She's very involved when it comes to the students. She listens to the students.
I love that Miss Beckles is very demanding and has control over the entire school. And when students see her, they know that this is a place of discipline and business.
I think that Miss Beckles won this prestigious award because of her dominant personality and also her interaction with children within the school was great.
Some of the projects that I'm really proud about would be the establishment of a student council. I believe that student voice is imperative and is critical to discipline in a school. Establishing communication with colleagues is critical, and therefore we've styled our communique to these events, and every morning that is sent to all members of staff.
What I like most about Miss Beckles, she's generous, down to earth, and she gives Jack his jacket, and she's a no-nonsense person, zero-tolerance person.
She's very firm on discipline.
If you give Miss Beckles any trouble like brush, brusher, brush egg,
H-O-M-E.
Bullying,
H-O-M-E. Computer Misuse Act,
H-O-M-E.
fighting,
H-O-M-E.
In advising persons who are aspiring to be principals, I would say to them, you need to write it as a stated objective. You must also put a time frame to it because that is important. I plan to be a principal by X time.
Congratulations, Miss Beckles.
So congratulations again to all of the individual winners. So give yourself a round of applause one more time. So as part of the nomination process, every year we also recognize the school that has garnered the most support from their faculty, staff, students, parents, and alumni by receiving the most nominations. This year, we are happy to announce the school with the most nominations is Wills Primary School. I'm not sure if a representative for Wills is here. Oh, join us on stage. So once again, congratulations to all of our winners. And it was a pleasure hosting this award ceremony as we recognize the hard work and commitment these educators have shown to their students, colleagues, and community. That brings us to the end of the award ceremony. So I invite you now all to join us outside for some beverages.